Welcome back to another episode on HadalTV. My name is Ahmed. Alongside me is Asad, as always. And today we are joined by someone who is doing great things, not just here in Manchester, but I believe in various parts of the world as well. He goes by the name of Mohamed Hussein. I'm not going to speak too much about what he does and what his profession is. I'd rather let him give us, a detailed introduction. So, Mohamed, introduce yourself. Let us know what you do, who you are, and what you're up to these days.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Asad. Thank you, Ahmed. First of all, I would like to thank you both for welcoming me, inviting me to your studio, and for the interview. My name is Mohamed Hussein Ahmed Sayyid, and I was born in Mogadishu, in Somalia. I do architectural design technology, and I run the company M1 Architecture, based in Manchester, in Moorside.
Okay. So you were born in Mogadishu, you said, and at what age or when did you arrive into the UK, and what was life like?
I mean, at the age of 5, as most Somali people immigrated to different countries. So we went to Yemen, spent there about 10 years, and then back to Africa in Kenya, another 5 years, and then came to Manchester approximately 16 years ago.
Okay.
So I spent half of my life in Manchester, and the rest different parts of the world.
So you must speak more than one language.
Yes, I can speak about 3 languages.
Okay, so
not fluently, but I can try.
So what languages is it?
I can speak Swahili,
nice.
Arabic, Somali, English. Well, that's 4.
That's 4.
That's 4.
And even, I was thinking that.
I know, because when you said 3, I thought it's definitely more than 3.
Definitely more than 3.
Yeah. And even in Somali, I'm guessing there's various dialects that you can probably dabble into.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we'll keep this one in English.
Yeah, I think we had the one that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll...
So you pretty much grew up in, you said in Yemen for the best part of the early stages of your life. And then you came to Manchester at the age of 15, 16?
About 16, about maybe 16. 17. Yeah, I came to Manchester. I was still a teenager.
Yeah.
When I came, my mother tried to take me to sort of, to get me some education.
Yeah.
And our first try was to go to Manchester Academy.
Yeah.
And then obviously at that age, people are finishing high school.
Yeah.
So we spoke to the head teachers. Please, can we get him in at least for 1 year? Let him get some education.
Yeah.
So because he's ambitious and he wants to do something.
Yeah.
But they said no, because obviously once you pass that age, high school is finished and that's it.
It's college. And
so and then to go to college to do your A levels.
Yeah.
You have to
GCSE
to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like you got no. You're stuck catch-22. So. So the only option I had at the time was to go to adult education, and the only thing that you could learn was English.
Yeah.
So
when you came first, you spoke no word of English, or maybe
I spoke a little bit English,
just to get
by. You do learn like English in Kenya as well.
In Kenya, yes,
okay. They do teach in English.
I don't know.
They teach actually very well. Actually, you have to sort of.
It's the Queen language.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it? But.
Very posh.
In some parts of the world, like they teach you either the American English or the British English. Yeah.
Like,
so which one did you?
I can't remember. They you have to memorize what you're learning.
To be honest with you, that American English is not really worldwide.
Okay.
It's pretty much the Queen's English worldwide. Because you will understand when you get about the world.
Yeah.
How the English actually dominated the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The language wise, culturally. The English are everywhere.
Yeah.
Trust me. America's is just basically, they went into a few places, but they don't really change the culture. Okay. But the British actually settled in their language. Like if you go to Kenya now, the English they speak is proper posh English. Like seriously, you'd be surprised.
That's interesting, man. So did you start, I'm guessing, by starting taking some English courses, and then how did things develop?
So we went at the time. The college used to be called Mancat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was Mancat, and then now it's the Manchester College. And we went in there learning Entry 3, I think, or Entry 1, I can't remember. And we were learning the English, but we picked up because we already had, me and my brother went in the same class, so we already had we already knew a little bit of the English. So it was a more like fast forward. So they saw us, we were quite okay. So we moved from Entry 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, I think there was 3 last, and then you go to level 1 within 1 year. So there was one day I was just drawing up. I used to like, when you're young, all of us, we're told like, what do you want to become?
Yeah.
And I was watching that interview with Mahdi.
Oh yeah.
He did mention the same thing. I wanted to become a doctor. So it was the same thing with a lot of us. What do you want to become? I wanted to become a doctor. But this dream, I actually really believed it, and I had it in my head, and I really wanted to pursue it.
Yeah.
But obviously, you have to go to education, go through the process, and go to university, and then become a doctor.
Yeah.
So I had this challenge, and I just didn't know where to start. But it was that one day I was just squiggling while the teacher was away.
Yeah.
We were being naughty. Me and my brother were very naughty at the time, and we were just squiggling on the board before the teacher comes.
Yeah.
And I was squiggling the lungs, the human anatomy, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she saw it. Before I rubbed it off, she looked at it and said, wait. And she looked at it, and she said, do you know this stuff? I said, yeah, a little bit. At the time, I was reading books about it and stuff, so I knew a little bit about it. I said, there is another section of this college.
Yeah.
Do you remember they had a sixth form college?
Yeah.
For the young.
Yeah.
And then she said, you can go there and learn it. I said, okay, I will try it. So I went there. Said, look, I want to enroll myself in this college, and I want to learn, something so that I can become a doctor.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, what do you have? I said, I don't have anything. And then he looked at me saying, okay, well, you only have 3 options: health and social care, football. You know what? I should have taken football. I could have become a rich by now.
Fast track
process. You're lucky you take that way. You're lucky.
And then the other option was, I can't remember. There was 3 options. So I said the closest one to doctoring was the health and social care, because it had the word health in it.
Yeah.
I thought, actually that sounds good. I want to enroll in that one.
Yeah.
So I got the forms and all of that, and then we started the course, sitting down in the classroom. Sorry, I didn't want to skip this story because it had. I sat down in that class, looking around. There was 30 girls.
Oh yeah. Now I understand.
Just one boy.
You're like, what's going on here?
Sitting down there and then looking around. The teacher's going, okay, what do you want to become? And she started from the corner, and then everybody's saying, okay, I want to become a nurse. And the other answer is like, I want to health and social care,
midwife,
something midwife and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's coming to me. I'm feeling very nervous.
Thinking, what am I going to say?
I have to think of something. I had to think of something to say that will be not offensive. I want to become a doctor. So the closest one to that concept was a nurse.
Okay.
So it comes to my turn, and I say, I want to become a nurse, and all the girls go woohoo. I felt absolutely embarrassed. You could look at it in two different ways. A teenager in a class full of girls is like, bring on the party. But then again, on the other side, I'm thinking, what the hell? I am the only man. Am I supposed to be in this place? So immediately, when there was a break time, I couldn't wait for the break time. I sat there anxiously, and she's writing something, and she's going on about books, about whatever. It's not going in my head at all whatsoever. I'm just waiting for that moment. Break time, and she goes, "You guys go to the library, do this." I say, "All right, okay." I run back to the administration, and I say, "Sir, this is not for me." And then he says, "Yeah, okay, football then." I said, "No, I want something else, science. I want to become a doctor.
Yeah.
This is not going to take me nowhere." So he said, "We're going to give you a try on a science course."
Okay.
And it was a GNVQ science at the time. I don't know if it still exists. So it gives you a chance to.
Last time.
Is that similar to BTech? I don't know.
It's similar to BTech,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Sometimes they change the names of it, but it's still the same thing.
Yeah. So the teacher was called Gareth. Gareth, I remember his name vividly because he was the one that was being a little bit lenient towards the administration.
Okay.
He wasn't supposed to enroll me in that course.
Okay.
But because I was begging and he showed me so much passion, I want to do something, come on, give me a chance. So he said, all right, okay. And I was enrolled in that one. So I'm sitting there in that second classroom now, and the science is going on. And the teachers are writing the H2O.
Yeah, the chemistry and all that stuff. Yeah.
And I have no idea what the H2O is. And I'm thinking, what the hell is that little number? And what the is going on down here? I don't know nothing. My head is like, oh man. But I was hopeful.
Yeah.
I just carried on, alhamdulillah.
So how long did you carry on with that course?
That was 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. It was 2 years. And then obviously, if you have the GMVQ science, to go to the A levels, you need maths.
Yeah.
What do you call it? GCSE maths.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the GCSE maths. So there was another issue. However,
you could do that on the side, don't it? Like, what are you doing?
There was an extra classroom which was run for the people who have failed in high school or didn't get the right grades, and then they could resit it there. So I went to that teacher and I said to him, sir, can I join in? And he said, what do you have? I have nothing. He said, you can't join in because this is for the people for revision. It's a fast paced. You can't do it. I said, please give me a try. He said, okay then. I went in there sitting
down. Was that Gareth again who just let you?
No, it was it was Ian this time.
Okay. How about Gareth is letting a few students in?
Yeah.
Nice man.
Ian was a very, very, very nice person as well. He did give me a chance as well. I sat down there again thinking, you got the 4 square, the little number on top, and thinking again, what the hell is that little number? I had no idea. So for me to pick up and understand all of this, I had to go home and learn the stuff that you learn in primary school.
Oh yeah.
Or for the children.
Yeah.
So because obviously you have to
start from the beginning.
Yeah. So when on the break times people are going to the have fun and playing the games and that, I was either in the library or just it was mainly in the library. So they go left.
Catching up to do.
I go right. So alhamdulillah, and then the guys who were next to me, I'm asking them, how do you solve this problem? How do you answer this? How do you work this out? And they can't help you all the time.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a time where you have to, just come on, can't help you all the time. And then you go to the exam, you can't. Anyway, I had to do it, but for myself. And alhamdulillah, after a lot of struggle, I began to understand and picked up. And in fact, later on, few months later, some of my classmates were coming for help to me.
So now you've advanced your skill levels.
Yes, I have gone to their level and passed their level. So then they were coming for help. Even in the science was the same thing. People coming to me for advice, for all of that.
So how many years were you at this college, and like how much of qualifications did you manage to compress in that short time frame?
So it was 1 year. I managed to get 1 qualification, which was equivalent to 4 GCSEs.
Okay.
In science. And 1 GCSE in maths. So, but there was again English left, GCSE English.
Yeah.
But then I somehow managed to go to the A levels.
Okay.
And then pick the GCSE English from one side. I had to drop chemistry because it was difficult. As life progressed, I've realized actually, doctoring I wasn't being realistic.
So when did you transition from realizing, okay, maybe I don't want to be a doctor anymore, or maybe this is not the path for me? So how did the shift happen between that to becoming having interest in the architectural world?
That happened when I couldn't understand chemistry. Chemistry was my worst subject. I hated it. I'll be honest with you. I had to drop it in A levels as well and choose physics. So after physics, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of things that's happened for me to transition from which direction I was going, and all of a sudden becoming an architectural technologist.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of different change of directions happened in my life. So once I finished the A levels in sciences, I applied for university, and the university made a mistake. They said you didn't get the right qualification, so they
scrapped your application.
They scrapped my application, and they were the only one I accepted.
Which one was that?
I think it was Manchester Metropolitan.
Okay.
So I was devastated. I lost hope. Even at the time, because obviously there was no chance, because I dropped chemistry. So you have to have chemistry to become a doctor.
Yeah.
So my only chance was to choose something else. So I sort of thought about what else can I do it, and randomly I chose mechanical engineering. And that I got accepted, and I was like nearly got there, but then there was a mistake in the system. Said, okay, you're not going, and like, so, okay, my dreams have crashed. And I said, you know what, forget this, I'm done. I went away, found myself a job in.
Oh, so you took a break between college and uni?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just went working in a DIY shop. So I was working in a DIY shop for about a year.
Okay.
And then I started to realize that I could do stuff with my hands. So I started getting involved with a building maintenance, you know, fixing doors, you know, a little bit of pipe work, a little bit of electricity, a little bit of this and that. So then, when I realized, actually, I want to take this a little bit further.
You took the right course just before you got married.
Yes, I think everything's happened for a reason.
I know.
It's like a blessing in disguise, isn't it? Yeah.
So, I thought I would take the building maintenance into different another level. So I enrolled myself in a course to do what is it called? Carpentry and joinery.
Okay.
So
was that at the college or at the uni or?
In uni?
Okay.
Sorry, not in uni. It was in college.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, it was a Manchester college. They had a department for in open show for woodworking. So I spent 2 years in that, and then I worked for myself to do building maintenance, going around fixing things. And
so you just went like self-employed. You were just going around there fixing stuff for people.
That's right.
And how did that feel, going from working for someone to all of a sudden now just kind of like being free and doing your own thing?
It was good, but then you end up sometimes working very long.
Yeah.
You end up.
What were like the challenges during that time period? Like, did you face? You reckon?
You know, when you work for somebody, you go there 9 o'clock and you will leave 5 o'clock. You know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you work for yourself, it's like, you know, the challenges are that you sometimes you overwork, and then you end up spending long hours and missing on your family sometimes. You know, you come late in the night, and then straight away you go to bed. Sometimes you don't see your kids; the kids are already sleeping. So these were one of the challenges. I would say, yes. And when you start initially, you don't know where you're running to.
So after you did your 2 years of doing woodwork and obviously opening your own business, did you go back to education again?
Yes. I thought having the knowledge of carpentry and joinery wasn't enough, and I felt there was something missing. So then I applied for a course in university. I just phoned up. I said, "Do you have anything to do with construction? Because I love construction." Because I did realize at the time I was loving it and getting maintenance, but it wasn't just enough. I didn't feel. So they said there is a HNVQ or was it something HNVQ, High National Qualification that they offer. That was to do with construction. So it gives you like a general knowledge of construction. I did that for a year. During the course, I've realized actually there were various things that's available there. Like Architectural Technologist was one of them.
Okay.
So I spoke to the Architectural Technologist, and I said, look, I want to become an Architectural Technologist. And a couple of others also said, we too want to do the same.
Yeah.
Can we do it? And it wasn't sort of possible, but they said, we will set a condition for you. If you get that grade, it was probably the highest grade at the time. If you get that grade, then guarantee we're going to put you in. Even one day, one of the Architectural Technology teacher came, the lecturer, and he said to us, oh, look, what fantastic works that my students produced. He's shown us lots of big boards. And said, look, this is hard. So he was putting the impression that this is going to be hard and it's not for you guys. Because, basically, don't come. And it's not for you and you can't do it, kind of thing. And in the back of my head is like, yes, I can. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I'm coming. A couple of people, he did put a couple of people off. Fair enough. But obviously, you know, if you believe in yourself, you can do it. So I went next year, then we've got this stuff, and then we've asked, okay, are we in? He said, yes, not that you're only in, but you are going to skip 1 year. The first year you're going to skip it because it's similar knowledge to this,
What you just did,
and
yeah.
we don't feel that you're going to benefit from it. Just go to the second year straight away. So we were first forward again in the university.
Is this still at Manchester Metropolitan or?
No, this is Salford University.
Oh, so now you're okay, University of Salford.
Yeah.
Okay. For me personally, like hearing it, Architectural Technologist just sounds amazing. But like, what does it involve?
There's a technology bit that twisted into it.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm like, okay, is it like someone sketching but with a electric pen? No, I'm joking.
No, I mean I get asked a lot. I mean I get different impressions from a lot of people. Some people actually say to me, "You must be very, very good at maths," you know. And some people think that it's all artistic and all beautiful things that you have to design and all of that. But realistically, what we actually do is like, have you seen, for instance, this table before it came in a pack? It's got instruction manual, isn't it?
yeah.
So we produce those manuals for building something.
How to put them together.
So
It's
how
basically the whole design.
how is going to do it? So it involves, even if you go to the bricks, how, say for example 1 meter and then you make a window, it doesn't work like that. It's not 1 meter, it's 1, 2, 3 bricks, and each brick is, for example, 225 millimeters. So 225, and then you got 10 millimeter of cement, and then you got 225.
Yeah, my brain hurts already.
So there's these things that, I mean,
Basically, just going back to like the smallest details.
you go to those details because they're important, because otherwise you can't just do 1 meter, and then the guy might end up cutting a little bit of the brick. So what happens? He's going to end up cutting loads of bricks that he's going to throw away. That's a waste of money. So we're trying to eradicate all of it. If he's going to cut it, we want to make sure he's cutting it in the middle. So the other half he's going to use on top.
Okay.
So not just only that, but there is various things, even your timber sizes, your roof, the amount of light that's coming to the house, you know, how you're going to circulate, and reducing the waste in the space of the house, and various other things. So it gets involved a lot. It's the science of living in a sense.
Yeah.
So how do you interact with your, you know, with the spaces that you have?
House. Yeah. Okay.
So,
It's amazing.
so you have to design. You have to design. You know, correct.
Yeah.
Otherwise, somebody might end up. You know, I'll give you a very, very small example.
Yeah.
If a kitchen is designed really badly, for example, and then your fridge is over there, and your sink is over there, and then your cook is like somewhere far away.
Yeah.
So you have to walk, even though it's not that you're not walking like miles.
It's just.
But it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
To walk there and then get your stuff and then go to the microwave, warm it up, and then to your cooker. It's like, so we look at every single, you know, detail.
You know what? You're talking about that. Let me just cut you off for 1 second.
Go on.
We were trying to get a commercial building to open a little business.
Food business or?
It was
okay. Business.
I'll tell you about it another time.
Yeah.
But to open a little business there, and we were thinking about it. So we end up like looking around, and then we needed a kitchen and a sink.
Okay.
In a certain place, but the pipes from the streets were like some far away in the building, and it was nowhere possible to have a kitchen and sink anywhere apart from where they could connect the pipes to the street at the back of the building, and it was like a useless place to do anything.
Yeah.
It was so strange.
That's why you needed Mohamed there.
Yeah, it was like, I was thinking, who designed these kind of buildings is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like there was only one, because like there's building here and there's a building here and there's alleyway.
Oh
That's
yeah.
where all the pipes are.
Okay.
So all the kitchens, everything at the back of the buildings.
Yeah.
Even the like toilet pipes, everything.
Yeah.
So where we were, like the other side of the street, where we were the commission space.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to be done. You couldn't have any water pipes. You couldn't have a sink. You couldn't have nothing.
Could you not extend it like?
They were not. You have to get an appointment. You have to get the approval from the council.
Oh yeah.
Again, this is where you come in, I believe.
Yeah.
We will get to that in a second.
Nightmare. Like we put up like, it was a sink. Like how could you? How difficult was that? You need a permanent. You need to do this. You need to that. Oh, we're like wow.
That's crazy, man.
We get asked a lot of the times to extend people's homes.
Yeah.
We do that, and we try to say, for instance, somebody might tell me on first floor's bedroom, I want a toilet. over there.
Like an ensuite, yeah.
Yeah, ensuite. But it's not, I mean, most of the times, it's not possible every time.
Yeah.
So because sometimes the pipe works, everything is on the back. You have to get that ensuite close to the back, because if you get the pipes from it, it needs to go into the drainage there. So because you have to have certain angles for those pipes, so the pipes you can't just go straight, otherwise the water will just sit there, it's not going to go nowhere. So it needs to flow, and it's part of the regulations that you have to give it an angle. So yeah, this is one of these things that you have to think about, when you're doing this.
So when you started uni, doing architectural technologist to become that, did you know that that's what you wanted to do? That's it, or was there a hint that maybe you wanted to be a doctor again? I don't know.
You've not become doctor, haven't you?
Hey, listen,
we moved up from that long time ago.
You know what? Yeah, I mean the doctoring business was buried away, but good. I realized, going back to my childhood, I grew up in a refugee camp.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you need a toy, you have to make a toy. You can't buy a toy. There's not where to buy a toy, so you have to make it. So we either make it from cardboard, plastic, cans, or whatever there is available. But just recently I started to think, why did I take this direction? Has that anything to do? I used to build houses and little buildings when I was young. So basically what we used to do is we used to mix mud,
like clay and
then let it dry. No, we used to make a small bricks.
Oh wow.
For the mud, let it dry, leave it for a day, come back the next day, and we will stack on top of it and use the mud again to cement it together. And sometimes to put a roof, it was rather difficult. So we would fill in, sand, build the roof, and then remove the sand. So it will stop by itself. Yeah. So we used to do that stuff, and I even built like a small helicopter, which didn't unfortunately take off.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of weight and the batteries that was attached to it. So when I looked at all of those stuff, really it was the peer pressure that was telling me you need to become a doctor. But really I knew that I wanted to be part of building, part of construction in somehow, but I didn't know it would be an architecture. But luckily, eventually, I found out that it was, yes, I am there now. And then I worked, once I graduated, we had to do an exhibition for the last final year. We had to do an exhibition. And then the exhibition, we were invited to the people from outside, companies and everybody, whatever it could come. It was open to the public.
I've been to a few. I've been to the one in Mammet. A friend of mine invited me. It was good fun.
Yeah,
you see some good stuff, man.
Yeah, you see lovely, beautiful designs in it. But most of them are not realistic, I'll have to tell you.
like in the real world, they probably wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work, yes, because in university, I remember doing a bridge design, which sort of comes from there, turns this way, and then turns again. And then this is a good few years ago. Yeah. When I start to think about it now, and I look at those pictures, I say like, oh, what a lot of nonsense that is. But if you look at it, it was imagination. You have all sorts of structures going around the bloody thing, and then you got lights, LED lights going beneath the thing. So you got, as you're walking through it, you get all the changing shape that was, you experience and all of that.
Yeah.
But structurally to build it, it's just impossible, because you can't have a bridge that is like a snake. You can't have it. But
they try that in Dubai. They try everything in Dubai.
In Dubai, they're doing everything, man.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it with, well, you have to have some sort of supporting. But the way I designed it was like, it doesn't have no support. It just squiggles all the side.
It's one of them, Bismillah, just go in for it.
You know what, like even I'm sure the teachers must have looked at it for, it's all about having that right imagination, isn't it?
It's
good.
Well, they did love it in terms of, because you have to use a software in order to create all those shapes, all those structures. It did have, tell a lie, it did have a structure, but we are not structural engineers. We don't know whether I put in some steel structure, but I don't know whether that steel is going to be sufficient to support all the concrete and the people.
Man. You're reminding me of my uni days, man. I had to do a whole dissertation on like stress and strain analysis using CAD, SolidWorks, all of that stuff.
AutoCAD as well.
I've used AutoCAD briefly, but mainly it was SolidWorks.
Okay.
Because obviously engineering, structural and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that was
You
good times.
You did structural stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I did. I got a degree in mechanical engineering. It's just there in the background for the time being. But
Okay.
yeah,
I
man.
think he left it at the back somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the cupboard, you know, in the bedroom.
You have to pursue it, you know.
No, 100%. The reason why I did that is because, inshallah, in the very near future, is to go back home and get involved in various constructional projects and stuff like that.
Inshallah.
And maybe that's something that maybe we can speak about off camera.
Absolutely. We'll discuss that definitely.
And so you finished uni. Like, how was it? What did you get? Because I remember you doing very well when you graduated. What was your?
I achieved first degree, first class in the University of Salford.
And did you go straight into setting up your own business, or like how did that like happen?
When I was talking about the exhibition,
yeah,
one particular person came to the interview to the exhibition. He looked at the works, and he was looking at mine, you know, sort of, you know, focusing on mine.
Yeah.
But while he was looking around, I could see him. He did come to me eventually, and I spoke to him. I said to him, "Look, this is my work. We have designed a primary school, got a bridge, which was ridiculously looking good, but ridiculously maybe not working in real life.
Yeah.
But there was fantastic stuff that I displayed there, and he looked at it. He did like it, and he said, you know, are you interested in working for our company? And then I said, yes. And he said, you know, he gave me his card.
Yeah.
He gave me his card. He said, call me, and I will discuss with you. He walked away, but then he realized, he thought about, what if he doesn't call you? So he came back and he said, Mo, actually, you give me your number, I will call you.
Hey.
So I realized, okay, there is a potential. There is something here. I gave him my number and he went away. A week later, I was still, the exhibition didn't mean that the university was finished.
Yeah, because
we still had to do various other things. The dissertation was still going on and things like that. So he called me and he said, Mo, but that time I was also doing building maintenance as well.
Okay.
I remember that particular day when he called me. I was building a shed for somebody.
Yeah. In
the back garden, and I picked up the phone. Mo, I would like to offer you the position, and I would like to offer you 17 grand. How does that sound for you? I said in the back of my mind, I'm like, I just like don't know what to say. I'm like, I quit all of this, you know, obviously because I can't be doing building sheds and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, hell yeah, I take the position. And he said, what about the money? He felt the money was small. I thought the money was a lot. 17 grand, come on, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I said, yes, definitely I will take it. And then I took it. So I worked with him for a year where I picked up and learned the ins and outs of this. But working for somebody was a little bit not my style because I like to do sports.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To get
other hobbies and stuff like that.
To get involved in sports, I also like to build models of small items.
Yeah.
With my children, and you know, the Jum'ah prayers as well. So I don't like all the places I worked for. Everybody I worked for, I always told them, look, I want to go to Jum'ah prayer, or I will leave the job. Which one do you choose? They would say, okay, you go Jum'ah. But then the last one, obviously, I said to him, I want the Jum'ah prayer, but he said, how long do you need the Jum'ah prayer for? I said 2 hours. I said maybe 3 hours or something like that. How long do you need?
I think he was pushing it.
I did push it.
Yeah, they'll try on you. How long have I been having a battle?
Yeah. I mean, eventually I said, okay, 2 hours. He said, I'll give you 2 hours. Okay, you don't have to leave the job. 2 hours there, fine.
Okay.
I said, okay. I took the 2 hours. I went and then he realized actually it didn't take 2 hours to pray. So 1 hour was enough. He said, Mo, just cut your hours and you get paid. Work, you know, just take 1 hour for your Jum'ah and that's it. Because he saw me coming back from Jum'ah early and just sitting outside doing nothing, finishing my time and then going back to work. So he said, okay, come work. I said, okay. But yeah, when you add all of those together, I thought opening up my own business was the way forward. But starting it was a big challenge
Yeah.
because obviously, as I said before, you don't know if you're gonna get the job. I had to charge very low fees because I needed the customers badly. I didn't know how to sell my business. I didn't know how to convince people. I was
different ball game.
it was very stressful, very stressful. I had a little cupboard beneath the stairs or next to the stairs. I can remember all the house, and there was my little desk there, very squashed.
That's how it starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's business starts somewhere in a kitchen
The
or
cupboard, I swear to God,
somewhere.
it was like that. I should have brought the picture of it. And I had my screen there on a computer. Actually, no, there wasn't a screen that time. There was just a laptop.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult to work on a laptop because.
And what year was this where you started your own business?
This was the year 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's roughly when I met you, maybe a year before or something, like officially kind of thing.
I think so.
So you was always like, interested in business and doing your own thing.
You did approach me, didn't you? To
Yeah,
work together or something. Yes.
Nah, that's crazy.
I had to let you down at the time, didn't I?
It's alright,
man.
Hey.
Because of obviously.
Because you was doing that.
I was chasing this thing.
Yeah.
I was chasing this, and I was really busy. I think the time when we met, I think I was in uni still. I think.
Oh, was you?
I think so. Yeah.
I remember you being very busy. You was either in uni or you starting your business, whatever it was. You basically had no time. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I was like, no time.
Man, this guy, man, he'd be great, but he's gonna do great things anyways. So when you started your business, obviously you faced the challenges at the beginning. When did it start to like pick up with clients or work or whatever it was?
After a year or probably two. Because you need to sort of form your basis. No, you have to sort of make a connection with your community that you're in, and also the community that that have houses.
Yeah.
So we were sort of specialized. I was mainly focusing on the residential.
Yeah.
For people who want to extend their house or convert their loft or convert their garage or whatever to do with their house.
Yeah.
So this is the stuff that I wanted to specialize in. And so it took me a very long time, about 2 years nearly, to sort of, form this base and also understand that, if somebody calls me now, I can book them.
Yeah.
But if you look at back in time, I would be all over the place, explaining all my situation, spending maybe 1 hour, and they're like, okay, bye, we'll call you again. And they will never call you again.
So what's the name of your company and what services do you offer at the moment?
It's called M1 Architecture Limited, and we offer, as I say, architectural services for home extensions, loft conversions, garage conversions, but we also help people with planning permission, building regulations, and
someone like Asad who wanted the pipe. Sorry.
And the construction drawings. So when somebody asks me, Mo, I want to extend my house or convert my house or whatever, so we would help them as an agent to do their planning forms, all the drawings sent to the
So they could pretty much just deal with you directly from start to finish.
That's correct, yeah.
That's nice.
So
that's good.
Even if the planning, for example, have a question about whatever, they would come to me and say, Mo, we need something changing because we don't accept that particular aspect of the design. Or you have to provide, for instance, a bat survey. If a bat is living in a building, apparently they're protected species in the UK. So you have to have a surveyor to come around.
No. Now that you say that, it reminds me of an episode. Okay, have you ever seen the program called Grand Designs?
Grand Designs,
yeah. I love that show because I'm into all this building and whatnot. And it just reminded me of that show. There was one episode where there was bats living in someone's site.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they have to get archaeologists to make sure the grounds and just costs is crazy, man.
And they have to produce a report or something to go with your planning permission. And I think you're not allowed to destroy the habitats where they live.
Yeah.
So if they're leaving your roof, then that's it, you're done. You can't do anything with your roof. But I think there's probably something you could do with it.
Yeah.
I never experienced any of those, but I know on top of my head that there's also tree survey and various other things. But we can sort of manage the whole process for our clients. and put together all the documentations for them, get them the planning permission so that they can build it. And obviously, after the planning permission is granted, it doesn't mean that you straight away you are free to go. You have to also comply with the building regulations. The building regulations are concerned with the safety. The planning are concerned with what it looks like and the effect on the neighbors. How you're gonna, how does it affect the neighbors? But the building regulations, they're concerned with: is it safe to do so? Does it stop the cold coming into the building? And those other things that to go with the building regulations.
I think I've read a story on a newspaper. It's about a year ago or something like that. There was a guy that would build. He's kind of built a bit of a mansion. It's got quite a big building, and he was slightly higher than what he's supposed to be. And he had to knock it down.
But they can make you because they have the power.
It was like the council had to tell him to knock it down.
Again, there's another episode on grand design where some guy just went slightly over.
It's like, if you see, it's a big, like it's a big building. Like, it was like a mansion, and it's not actually in like a residential area. It was like a bit. They had his own land. Like it was a bit out of the way as well.
Even if you have your own land, you're out of the way. You still have to meet those
the heights. I mean, I couldn't believe they would ask him to.
It's crazy, isn't it?
They have the power.
Mental.
A customer did once approach me and said, "Mo, they're asking me to knock a building down. Can you do something?" I said, "I can try and draw it up and say, can we have it?" That's what we did, and they said, "No, you can't have it. You have to knock it down. You have 1 year." It's in Longside.
That's crazy. So
like, this is what I don't understand. Even that story that I read, they said I have to knock it down. Do you have to knock everything down, or you could just like take the roof off? Take some heights off it, and then do it again.
It's in the details, isn't it?
I know it's going to cost an arm and a leg.
If you can knock it down and still meet all regulations, I'm sure you probably
can. But knock it down completely.
But the thing is,
mental.
I don't know. But the thing is, you were supposed to build it here, but you built it there.
Oh yeah, that's different.
You're gonna have
I'm talking about height.
But the
same
height,
thing,
you can reduce the height a little bit. The height is not. It's not going to be like a major issue.
But they were saying knock it down.
But if the roof is like this, then you have to change the whole angle, or maybe to
remove the roof. You have to change the whole structure.
And then bring the floor level has to drop a bit. Oh mate, just the thought.
That's one thing that I realized when I read that story. That's one thing that I realized, that the power the council have is just like, it's crazy.
A lot of people say to me, "Look, I own the house. Why the hell do I have to involve the council?" I say, "Yes, you own the house. Your house."
That's a whole different world.
Even the color of the brick is controlled to a degree.
Exactly.
Is it?
Yeah, you can't stick black bricks on your house just because you own it.
Didn't know that. I thought you could paint the house if you would.
No, you can paint. No, even painting, I think.
Well, I don't know. You can ask the permission, and they will have to weigh it up. They will have to judge it. Is this suitable for that area? If it's not suitable for that, you will just reject it. But anything I advise anybody who comes to me, I say to them, look, first get your planning permission. The thing with the plan permission takes 8 weeks. 8 weeks is nearly 2 months. How long will the architect take to draw it up? Another two weeks. So when you add the time together, it takes a lot of time before you even start lifting a brick. And now people will say like, "Oh, I can't be bothered waiting too long. Just get the builder, get it started." What they don't realize is that the amount of time they're going to lose is actually more than what they had.
What they had to wait for.
And money as well.
And money as well, yes.
It's pain in the ass.
I mean, we could sit here and talk about all this for another 2 hours. Really.
Did you get affected by this whole COVID situation?
Actually,
or did you get busier? Because I'm assuming you did get busier.
It did get busy actually, yes, because of the people working from home, and I've realized like a lot of people asking me to do a home office, so they want an extra room to put the office. So it did pick up, and also the other reasons, which I guess is obviously now you're spending more time in your house. Before we were just like in and out. You didn't realize what you needed. But now you're sitting down there, having your coffee and thinking, actually, that kitchen is too small. We want a bigger kitchen, And so
I did a bit of work during.
I think everyone did. I did a bit of gardening.
I've turned my storage room into a closet, which is really good. Like everyone that comes to my house now is like, "Oh, I like that."
It's a nice walk-in wardrobe.
Yeah, it's a walk-in wardrobe. So I've got a bit of space there. So I used to stash stuff in there, but then obviously during the lockdown, I was thinking, I could do something with this. Empty the whole thing.
I planted an apple tree during when the lockdown started.
So do you have apples now?
No, it's just.
How long does it take? I don't know how these things work.
It actually stopped growing because it went to the winter.
Okay, and then we had snow.
You have to, so you have to stop. It stops growing, and then you have to wait. So we waiting now. It's just that much.
Okay,
it's not that big, but obviously one of those things that you do when it's lockdown.
Yeah.
And this is when the first lockdown started. I had nothing else to do. Also, I had my work, but obviously, you're sitting at home doing work. You have to do something else.
Yeah.
So planting trees was something I thought I could do it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's interesting. I've actually not done any jobs to my garden for a while now.
So hearing your story about, your journey coming here at 16 and the struggles, not being able to do GCSEs, all that stuff, and now to where you are, mashallah, is really amazing. If someone's out there watching this thinking,
it's too late for them,
or maybe they're in their second year,
or they haven't got GCSE results,
what advice would you have?
I mean, I would say, look, I didn't have everything figured out. I didn't have everything figured out. There was a time where I thought, doctoring, and then not for me. And then what about woodwork? And then not for me. Construction, not for me. And then architectural, and then I say yes. But if you think about that was, maybe 10 years. So there was so many years, spent from one, or is that, so I wouldn't say, it's never too late. You can start somewhere. It might take you 2-3 years, even 5 years
to figure it out, or even develop yourself. So it's never too late. Whenever you can start to do whatever you like to achieve your goals. But then at the same time, I don't want to be the type of people who would say, go on and start a business. Life is not just about starting a business. Life is about achieving your goals. And the goals can be different things. For example, my goals is to earn enough and be able to fulfill the other things that I want to do in life. I love football. So every Sunday before the lockdown, we used to play in Alexandra Park, playing football every Sunday. And then we've actually added 2 more days because it was just the hype. It was just too much fun. So balancing all of these things, and if there is something that you want to do, people will tell you, oh, it's too difficult. Even the back of your head, something will be saying, don't do it, or it's
don't
too
do
hard.
it. What if this? What if that? What if this? What if this? Don't think about what of those. All you have to do is just count 1, 2, 3, and then just do it straight away. I've seen a video about this, and I've realized actually that is actually very true, because you don't give your brain to give you
too much time to start saying don't do it.
Don't do it, and it's too difficult. And
give you doubts.
No, we should all believe ourselves, and and anybody can do whatever they want to do. I remember there was this story where young, they weren't even young. There were a couple of people in Somalia. This was back before even the war started. This was a very long time ago. They were just selected because the Somali people didn't have pilots. So these guys were just selected randomly. They were taken to, I think, Italy at the time. It could have been France, I can't remember. So they came back a few years later, pilots, captains. So they were flying the Airbuses for Somalia. So, and then one of these pilots were being interviewed, and he was telling his story. And he said, I didn't even know that I could become a pilot. I didn't even think about it. But because of what people can do, just being taken from there to there and then back, that can happen. I mean, for me, it happened. Obviously, it took some time, but I did it. I chased these things that I wanted to do. I wanted to open my own business, become my own boss, and live the life that I want, and not being dictated by anybody else.
That's amazing, man.
And then if I think anybody could do it, anyone could do it. I think so.
So where can people find you? What's the name of your business, your website, or socials, or anything like that?
They can go on M1 Architecture. You can search on Google M1 Architecture. It will bring on the website. It will bring on the social media, Facebook and other things. We have a website where people can contact us, and it has all the contact details on there.
And we'll put it in the description below as well, so that if you have any further questions for Mohamed about his business, what he does, or just I'd say anything else, get in touch with him. Thank you for tuning in to another episode on Hadal TV. If you gain any value, if you have any questions about anything that was said today, as always, drop it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.